Welcome my YouTube viewers, Jason from Jason G Designs here. Just recently, I was on a mission to remove some plugins from my main website. I removed the Download Manager plugin that hosted files from the website. I thought it would be a good idea to move my older WordPress themes to GitHub. In the process of doing this, I initiated a README file as I was creating the remote repo. This ended up creating some issues when pushing later on. I thought, why not use this as an example for a video? So, we will see how to set up a connection to a remote repo with existing files. I will use Cool Orange, a WordPress theme, for an example. First, we open up a terminal and navigate to the folder we're adding a local repository to. I ran ls to make sure a .git folder doesn't already exist. We will add a local Git repository with Git Ignore. The remote repository will automatically be named main, so let's change it to main in our local repo. Type git branch -m main with spaces in between. Next, we can create a new empty repository at GitHub, preferably named after your project. And we can add some information for the description. Optionally, it's a good idea to include a license. For my WordPress theme, I chose a GPL3 license. I added a couple of changes to the README file in Markdown. The advantage of doing this at GitHub is the live preview. Now we can add our newly created remote repo. To do so, type git remote add origin, followed by the repo name with the .git extension at the end. Git remote -V shows that the remote repository has been added. Git status checks to see just that, the status of our local repo. Our files are currently untracked. Let's add them to be tracked. Looking at the files we're adding, we don't want files like thumbs.db. To exclude these, let's create a .git ignore file. In this file, you can write whatever files and folders you don't want in the remote repository. In this case, I excluded thumbs.db and Bluefish generated backup files that end in a tilde symbol. For some projects, you will want to exclude the node modules folder or a distribution folder intended for production. We next commit the files on our local machine. This matches with what will be pushed remotely. The final step in the process is to push the files to the connected remote repository. we issue the command git push origin main. GitHub now uses token authentication instead of passwords. If you want more information on how to generate a token password for GitHub, check out my GitHub authentication tutorial linked in the description. It looks like we came across our first problem. It rejected our push because we already have files in the remote repository, our README and license files. Citing the GitHub docs again, we can fetch the changes from our remote using git fetch origin. Let's now merge the remote files with our local files. For this, we use Git Merge origin /main. Here, we come across the second problem. Git is refusing to merge unrelated histories. It is because the project's commit histories are not connected to each other. On the website Educative, I found a solution. Adding the Allow Unrelated History switch to a pull will attempt to merge the histories together. We are not out of the woods yet. Git still sees each branch as divergent, and there needs to be a way to reconcile that. Following the instruction options in the error message, we want to merge. Let's merge by typing git config pull.rebase false. Now we can issue the same command as before, git pull allowing unrelated histories. Our files from remote have now been added locally. The final step is to re-push to the remote. Now the remote repo is synced to the local one. GitHub advises you not to create a README file or license until after you've pushed your local files to remote. But GitHub gives you easy and visual ways to add these files to your remote repository. Even after pushing your local files, you still will have to pull those files down before your next push if you created them at GitHub. Hopefully, this video will help when or if these problems arise. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you found this information useful.